50-yard return. 1-0 ball game.
Introducing the all-new Nissan Maxima. With 300 horsepower, it's the four-door sports car that's raw, refined, and all you. The all-new 2016 Maxima from Nissan.
Hi, I'm Ernie. I lost my arm in a farm accident. Now I'm a safety ambassador, and I warn kids to play safe. Today, I'm getting some help from the Blue Bombers.
Bombers! Look, like this.
There you go.
Whatever game you play,
Play safe.
a message from the War Amps.
Like a fine wine, vintage Henry Burris this season. Let's go to the sideline now. Controlling it for us again in Winnipeg today is Sarah Orleski.
Rod, it may be vintage Henry Burris, but I asked him what has been the secret for him this year. Why has he been able to be so successful? He said that you look at his new offensive coordinator and Jason Moss as well as his receivers, but he really emphasized the job that Jason Moss has done with them. He says that they are on the same page. He sees the same things. He takes input from Henry. It has been a big hit for it, and he says that he likes the fact that Moss was a quarterback himself. It's all working out well so far.
Well, indeed it is, Sarah. Jason Moss has been a valuable weapon this year for Henry Burris and this Redblack offense. A guy who isn't that far removed from playing in the CFL. Just to play against Henry. Burris, a little play action here. Now he just guns. Look at this toss. Chris Williams, just 2 more steps, and he was gone. And if anybody ever questioned the arm strength of Henry Burris, think again. That was a rocket.
Henry Burris, we talked about Chris Williams and how so often he's running those routes close to the line of scrimmage, but here he's looking to use that speed. He's just taken off deep. Little play action in the line of scrimmage, and Burris steps up. As you said, let it rip. Williams in behind everybody. That one just off the mark.
Throwing down again. 3-man rush this time. Burris has some time. Now he's chased and gets the corner. High-stepping, but will be short of the first down. It'll bring out the kick team. But nobody should question Henry Burris's running ability either. Because I'll tell you what, he was very close to being caught in the backfield.
Yeah, well, we're going to put this one under the file labeled "Fear is a great motivator." The Heat closing in on Henry Burris here, but manages to step outside. Demonstrates he can still escape a little bit. You'll see the high step past Jamal Westerman to at least avoid taking a sack deep in his own territory.
Whoa, almost blocked by Greg Newman. Troy Sturdemire is pasted. Quickly downfield by Brandon Sermons. Crown wanted no yards.
Well, so did Mike O'Shea, who's off the Bomber sideline in a hurry, looking for a flag on that one.
And he may have a good point. Well, let's see right now. Have to be 5 yards away in a halo of 5 yards.
And I know it's been discussed in rules committee meetings amongst coaches during the offseason. Players moving at the speed they do, that's a tough rule to officiate.
Matt Nichols now looking to throw, and it is picked off. Brandon Thompson has his second interception. So Burris has thrown one, and now Matt Nichols chimes in with an interception toss. He threw 3 last week, and this is the first Winnipeg turnover of the afternoon.
Well, we talked to Javon Johnson, the veteran in that secondary yesterday, about each of the young guys he plays with. on the back end. And when he talked about Brandon Thompson, he said one of the big things are his ball skills, his ability to go up and track the ball, go get it up in the air, and he certainly demonstrated that. Boise State product, second-year man, led this team in picks a year ago. He's trying to get himself back in the race with Kane and Johnson now.
Change of possession on the turnover. Sinopoli turns the corner. Far side in the sunshine as a first down. And Brad Sinopoli, again, just add a few more yards to his yards after catch category this season, where he is second in the Canadian Football League.
Brad Sinopoli's pace had slowed a little bit over his last couple of outings, not seeing the ball quite as much. As we talked about, that seems to be the way it's gone for each of the Ottawa receivers at different times, where they've had the depth that different people are stepping up in different games.
Burris delayed draw for Powell. The Bombers weren't biting. Swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. Jake Thomas.
The Bombers with a new face, Leon Mackey, in on that defensive alignment. He's in on the defensive line in place of Zach Anderson this week. As Mackey is new, playing his first Canadian Football League game, we'll expect to see a little bit more. The veteran Canadian Jake Thomas out of Acadia in that D-line rotation today.
Second and 11, a loss of 1. Burris rolling. Here comes the heat, and it is caught by Ellingson in traffic. Greg Ellingson coming back to the football. That was textbook right there. Well, Blue Bombers thought they had an interception.
Yeah, and this is it. That's exactly the way you coach it up in terms of receivers, is don't sit back and wait for the football when it's on its way. Greg Ellingson works back to his quarterback, comes back and gets the ball, and essentially takes it away from the defensive player, Bruce Johnson, on the outside.
16-yard gain. Ottawa first and 10 from the 23-yard line. 30 seconds to go first quarter. The pitch to Powell. He streaks left side, and Powell takes it close to the 10-yard line inside the score zone, the red zone. And the Redblacks will go first and 10 once again. 21 to go, first frame.
William Powell is a guy who's certainly been impressive in a couple of outings as an Ottawa Redblack. Pressed into action mid-game a couple of weeks back when Jeremiah Johnson went down due to injury, had his first start last week. He shows a little bit of everything. Combination, speed, power, balance. Always makes the first man miss.
Now Henry Burris calls his own number. He gets pancaked near the 8-yard line.
Henry Burris again, using his legs here. Zone read type of situation, pulls with an option to throw. Didn't like what he saw on the outside, so tucked it.
Just 1 point in the first quarter, but the teams will change ends. The Redblacks poised to add a major here, at the very least a field goal, as they look to secure their 10th win of the 2015 season. Second quarter straight ahead from Winnipeg. Ottawa Redblacks have a 1-0 lead after one quarter. Not a whole lot of offense. A couple of picks by both quarterbacks. Take a look at that number, though. Time of possession. And this is what the Redblacks have improved on significantly this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's made a difference for their entire team. Obviously, the offense moving the football, but as well, it means that their defense is A, a little bit fresher, B, allowed to be a little bit more aggressive because they have some faith in their offense. Moving the football, making some plays. It's made a difference for their entire football team.
Last week against the Blue Bombers in Ottawa, where they won 27-24, they almost had the ball for 37 minutes in that game.
Yeah, it's as you said, I mean, Jason Moss has done a very good job in terms of getting them the high percentage completions that allow them to augment their run game as well. And William Powell, whom we've talked about already, over 60 yards on the ground, and that one over 100 yards from scrimmage.
Second and 6, Burris. And dangerous toss to Mo Price. Then Jay Shell was there. Matt Buckner was there. So the best the Redblacks will do is to get 3 points off of that turnover.
Watch for the heat coming on this one. Winnipeg Blue Bombers getting to Henry Burris fairly consistently in the early going in this ball game. We've seen Bryant Turner in the backfield a few times. We know Jamal Westerman's going to be back there as well. And that time Burris forced to throw while backing up. And of course the throw comes up a little bit short as a result.
Redblacks have gone through a number of kickers this season, settling in on Chris Milo, who's done a very good job coming over from the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Now 25 of 28 on the year. Former product of Laval, and Henry Burris gets his offense to add 3 on that possession. 4-0 Redblacks.
You know, for the Redblacks, the feeling, particularly when you're given an opportunity off a turnover, you hate to be settling for the threes. You always want to see Chris Milo coming out to kick extra points rather than field goals.
Again, last week, Blue Bombers, 2 of their first 3 possessions gave away the football. Then 3 straight possessions in the second half for Mike O'Shea's Bombers resulted in interceptions. They still made a game of it in the late going. So revenge on their mind here today, but mostly a win. Mandatory here for the Blue Bombers to try to keep pace. They'll have the bye week next week, and then they will end off the season. This is their 17th game in Toronto. Line drive kick. One hop. In a while, rumbles up near the 49-yard line. Crossover implications as well. The Montreal Alouettes have a stake in that. They must finish with more wins than that third-place team in the West in order to cross over.
Regardless, the Montreal Alouettes and BC Lions both cranked up the heat a little bit on the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, collecting their respective 6th victories of the season last night.
We have 2 games remaining. It's going to get very, very interesting these final couple weeks of the 2015 season, which has had a lot of intrigue from the outset.
Take a quick look at this Ottawa defense. Of course, the 3 interceptions for Matt Nichols last week. Kane with 1, Javon Johnson with a couple. Zach Evans, not necessarily a starter, but a guy who plays a lot in that D-line rotation, has had a real breakout year with 7 sacks.
Nichols is in trouble, and Kapikati has him again. 2nd sack. Justin Kapikati, his 10th of the season, a loss of 7, and a very, very quick 2-and-out.
Kapikati coming from the right side of that defensive line takes the unexpected inside rush on the tackle. Stanley Bryant usually expecting a contained rush from that position. He just caught him off guard.
Iralahu spinning now is Smith. Penalty flag is down. Newman brings him down near the 14-yard. Very low scoring game. No scoring as far as majors go yet. 53-yard kick. One of the most dangerous players in the CFL, Chris Williams. The Bombers will keep an eye on him.
She trusts no one and suspects everyone. An all-new Quantico tomorrow at 10, 9 Central on CTV.
Brought to you by the new voice of CTV, Dwayne Ford.
The more you can do, Blackie, the more you can do.
Long field here for Henry Burris. Penalty on the return. 2nd quarter underway. Burris shadows of his end zone. And he'll just chuck it out of bounds. Jamal Westerman chasing down Henry Burris. Boy, what a season Jamal Westerman has had, hunting down quarterbacks in this blue and gold uniform.
Yeah, a guy who's certainly been a quick study in his first year here in the Canadian Football League.
Well, if the Bombers hold him here, they might get on the board. Redblacks may be forced to give up a deuce here. Let's see, Burris again changing the play, gets it off just with a second to go, and well tossed. Great throw, good catch, and once again again. It's Brad Sinopoli down the rail. 41-yard pickup on second down. One of the best second down receivers in the league this season.
Well, Henry Burris came into this season having almost instant chemistry with all of his receivers. He's had some connections in terms of football background with all these guys along the way, but it seems like no connection has been stronger than the one he shares with Brad Sinopoli.
Sinopoli now over 900 yards. He might get to 1,000 today the way he's going, as he was down, then got back up and has another first down. And for Henry Burris, it's logical, as Brad Sinopoli knows, being an ex-quarterback, that there's some chemistry there.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's just some things that we kind of see very similar on the field, and you know, there's just been a couple times where the play breaks down or he makes throws that maybe he shouldn't, you know, isn't the right read, but it's just kind of a feel thing, and you know, those are just kind of things that you can't really explain, but you just have a good feel for it. And you know, it's mostly Hank. I'm just kind of sitting in the right area, and he makes the impossible throw or makes a throw that he shouldn't sometimes, and good plays happen.
We had a great conversation with Brad Sinopoli last night as the Redblacks arrived here in Winnipeg, talking about, you know, his days throwing a football with the Ottawa GGs and then becoming a Heck Prize Trophy winner. It is a natural connection. He's got a quarterback's mind.
Well, and these guys would have been in quarterback meetings together back in Calgary, so some of their football roots are shared for sure.
Former NFLer William Powell, what a nice addition he's been to the Red Black offense. Again, coming in late in the season. Jeremiah Johnson goes down with an injury. Powell plugs in, picks up 6 and another first down.
Yeah, and it was interesting to hear head coach Rick Campbell talk about William Powell yesterday, as he said, you know, you bring guys in during the season all the time, and sometimes you get a feel very quickly for whether a guy just has it or gets it. And he said Powell's certainly one of those guys you knew right away. He picked things up very quickly, and you knew he had the physical skills.
And this time, another guy with physical skills and another guy who played in the NFL. Westerman tracks down William Powell.
Yeah, Jamal Westerman out of Brampton, Ontario. Played his college football at Rutgers before doing a little tour of duty in the National Football League. But he has been one of Kyle Walter's great acquisitions, signed as a free agent once he was granted his national status last season. Elected to come north, join the Bombers this year, and he has certainly been an impact player.
Here goes Powell again, up the gut, spins now. And what a hit, the ball is loose. First down. No, they're saying it's Winnipeg football. William Powell pops it up. Mo Leggett has it. It is a fumble, another turnover here. Powell at great second effort. Loses the football.
Today.
Well, Mo Leggett, the man who's moved from the free safety spot into the strong side linebacker position for the Bombers, is the man who comes up with the recovery. But a guy who started a lot of games at that nickel linebacker position last year, Teague Sherman, is the one that came up with the hit, punching that ball out on the tackle. Forced fumble there for the University of Manitoba product, and a recovery for Leggett in what has been a turnover-filled game here in the early going.
Both teams with an interception. And now that fumble. Nichols pump fake, and now going deep and coming back to the football and throwing it right back to Brandon Thompson. He's Matt Nichols. Topsy turnover game here so far in Winnipeg.
Well, the pressure creates some issues on the throw for Nichols, but this is, again, a phenomenal athletic play by Brandon Thompson to go and get the football. Here you'll see Nichols under a little bit of heat, so he can't step up into this ball. The receiver, Denmark, forced to wait for it. That allows Thompson to recover. A great diving effort. You'll see right here, Nichols can't step forward into the throw, so he can't get as much into it as he would like. Denmark gets held up on his route, waiting for that ball because it's underthrown. That allows Brandon Thompson to come underneath and make a play.
Back-to-back picks. thrown by Nichols. Burris now goes gunning, and it is caught on the far sideline by Ellingson. Blanket coverage there, but all of a sudden Ellingson had some space on Bruce Johnson and capitalized.
Ellingson, the middle receiver of the three men, to the wide side of the field. You'll see he and Bruce Johnson get tangled up on the break. Right there, Johnson loses his footing, which allows a bit of separation for Ellingson. Burris drops it in there perfectly.
37-yard gain, first and 10 from the 28-yard line. Little looper. Mulligan has another turnover, and he's got some room here. This is not a good day to be a quarterback. Great day to be a defender so far. Another interception. Maurice Leggett. Mo turns Mo around here. Momentum for the Redblacks snuffed out.
Well, and this is one you're going to get the release out of the backfield, and Henry Burris goes a little bit high with his arc, trying to get the ball to Powell in that situation. Needs to throw that on a little bit more of a line, or lead him even a little bit more, because he throws it kind of a high lob. Leggett was able to come under.
What a nice catch there. Stretching for it. Nick Moore's first reception of the afternoon, and the Blue Bombers have to get some continuity here more than anything. They've got to hang on to the football.
Well, yeah, obviously turnovers have been the huge issue for both teams in this football game. It's turned into a little bit of a ping pong match. Interceptions and fumbles back and forth. Mo Leggett contributing a couple of those turnovers for the Bomber defense.
5 turnovers in the game. There's the option.